I am glad to be here with all of you. My name is Evangeline. Next, I want to introduce my group member, Hallie. Next is Rosanna. Yeah, the last one is Gordon. So before I start my presentation, I want to ask you one question. What do you think about your country's government social benefits? Anyone can answer me? Maybe Katie, can you talk about the government social benefits? You think the necessary or unnecessary?
My country government benefits is not much just for people before and they try to work hard and like students, for workers.
Yes. Okay, thank you for your answer. Sumi, how about your career? Do you think the social benefits are necessary or necessary?
Unnecessary.
Okay. Today we want to talk about the government social benefits. There are two sides in your presentation. Firstly, one side is about government social benefits are unnecessary. That some people think government social benefits can make people lazy. But today we think that the government social benefits are necessary. They can help poor people to make a living. There are three main parts in our presentation. Firstly, we will talk about the government social benefits of China. The Gordon will talk about this part. The next part is about government social benefits of Australia. So Sana will introduce this part for us. The last part is about the disadvantage about social benefits. The Henrik will talk about this part. So next we welcome the Gordon to introduce one part.
What's the problem?
In recent years, the poor people in China take up the largest percentage in Chinese population. They don't have enough money to make their living. We can understand from this chart. From this chart, we can see the percentage in high income is lowest, only 11%. But you can see the percentage of middle income take up the highest percentage is 61%. But however, you can also notice that the percentage of low income and low income hardly are is locally very similar. Is 12% and 15%. So the government carry out many good policies for poor people. The first one is the compulsory education. The Chinese compulsory education makes sure the children will finish their study in middle school. So the one advantage of compulsory education is the government make sure can help poor children because the poor children will have encouraged to study as well. Because of that, the poor family don't have enough money to pay any fees, such as tuition and living accommodation fees. So the government will cancel that fees, that book and the accommodation fees. And the second one is if they have an opportunity to receive high education, they can change their life and make future better. But you know, in China, if you have highest educational level, you can find a good job. You can work in an office, and you can do the manage and the engineer. but you have a lowest educational level, you can only start to as worker, and you can get the lowest salaries. Another China policies is social benefits for old people. The first one is retirement pension. Chinese government make a law if you are over the 60 years old, of course, including 60 years old, the government will let you retire, and the government will ensure you can make a living, so they can give you pension. Every province have different levels. For example, in my hometown, Beijing, and the government will give the old people 2,000 yuan. It's the same as the $400. And the second one is free public transportation. If you are over 60 years old, you can apply for an elder card, and you can catch a bus, subway, and so on. You can catch it in a free way. And the finally one is the free tickets for tourist attraction. And also, the condition is the same as the free public transportation. And you are over 60 years old, and you can take a free tickets to visit the tourist attractions such as the Summer Palace, the Great Wall, the Palace Museum, and so on. In conclusion, I think the China's policies is necessary for Chinese people because they can make people, especially children, students, and the old people, they can make a better environment, and they can get a better educational level. So next, let Rosanna talk about the Australia's policy. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Rosanna. Let me talk about the Australian benefits. People say Australia is one of the best benefit countries in the world. Government provides a range of payment and service for the local people, such as healthcare and job seekers. Both could help the residents and reduce their burden. And now I will illustrate some examples. Firstly, is the Medicare insurance. Australian government provide the service for the local people. According to the research, Australian residents can get free treatment and accommodation as a public Medicare patient in a public hospital. They also can get free or subsidized treatment by health professionals, such as a doctor, specialist, optometrist, and in specific circumstances, dentists, and airline and other airline practitioners. Also, 70% of Medicare schedule fee service and procedure if you are a private patient in a private hospital and or public hospital. Secondly, is the disability employment service. Australian government provide the benefit to disability people. There are two types of disability people. One is for disability people illness or injury, and they need and help of employment services, but do not expect no longer to get the support. Government will give them the trainings such as packing is specific skills, and other is for the disability people that they no longer have the ability to work and with a permanent ability, with access and need for long-term regular ongoing support. And according to the research, we can see Australian government will base on different situations to give them a payment to support them. Furthermore is income support. While people look for a job. If residents could not find a job, government will provide them a payment to support them to look for a job. It could help them a lot, and government will provide them opportunity to study and training, and the fee will be covered by the government. It could be solved a lot of problem, and they can get the support from the government. Also, it could be solved a few times without income while without a job before they get a job. And according to the research, we can see based on different situation, Australia government will give their payment as well. So I think the benefit give people is good, and that Hanif will talk about the China and Australia policy.
Hello everyone. So I want to talk about some disadvantages of Australian policies first. So I want to talk about Medicare insurance. In the general health insurance, it does not cover all the medical treatments like dental, physiotherapy, and etc. So if you want to get a treatment which does not cover by medical insurance, you have to pay by yourself. So it also does not cover home nursing. If you are sick at home and you are not able to go to doctor, but unfortunately you can't go for home nursing. So moreover, you can't go to direct to your own specialist or like your hospital with your choice. First you have to go to GP, then GP will ask you to go to specialist or any other hospital. It takes too much time, and it can be like any small problem can be create a breaks because of too much time. So moreover, medical insurance does not cover like ambulance in any case of accident and any emergencies. You have to pay by yourself for a large amount of money for ambulance and any accidents. So next I want to talk about some new start allowance and welfare disadvantages. So I think new start allowance may encourage people to do not do jobs. They do not want to do better jobs because it makes people lazy. They always get money from the government and they sit at home and like I have example of Aboriginal peoples. They always stay free because they are getting welfare programs from government. They get I think $300 per week, and they drink alcohols and disturb other people and just roaming here and there. They do not have any job. So I think it is a disadvantage of new start allowance. And moreover, it makes people lazy, you know, and I think by new start allowance and welfare, people think more like they want more benefits. They want more babies, and born more babies and get benefits of the government. So uh, there are slightly increase in the year 2012. The government, Australian peoples received $70 billion from the government in a year, in some form of insurance or medical help. In the so moreover, I want to talk about some disadvantages of Chinese policy. What is one-child policy? It is meant by Chinese government to reduce the population of China. So I want to talk some disadvantages of one-child policy. First, I want to talk about gender imbalance. Since there is a head of one-child policy, the boys and the everybody want boys because everybody think boys are the namesakers and they are earning and they runs their family. So they are so everybody wants a boy. So when they think about girls, they know when the gender of baby is revealed, they want to abort it, and they lot of girl abandoned or even killed after their birth because of one child policy. They just want boy. Moreover, it puts high pressure on child because like if you are only child of your parents, you have to take care of your parents or your grandparents also by yourself. So that's why they put a lot of pressure on children on their studies and their careers. So the suicide rate of China is very high. It's in just China as compared to whole world. In just China, 25% people in the 100% of world's people, 25% suicide rate increase in China. In the last year, in the year 2008, 287,000 people died due to suicide cases. The most age of suicide was 15 to 34. The youngster died because of high pressure, because of their study burden, and there's also problem going on in China that is called 421 problem. It means you have 4 grandparents, 2 parents, and you are only one boy. You have to take care of your family. So these type of disadvantages of one child policy I found out from internet. So this is so now Eva will tell you reviews of our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the hand. You give us a good presentation. Next, I will give us to in conclusion. Before I want to help you guys to review some main points in your presentation. Firstly, we talk about the advantage about China. We talk about the compulsory education. This policy can help all children to have equal rights to study. Because a lot of poor families don't have enough money to pay tuition fee, that lead to a lot of children don't have an opportunity to study. Second one, we talk about the social benefits for older people. This policy, there are a lot of priorities for older people. They can take the free public transportation and get free tourist attraction tickets. This can guarantee the old people have a good life condition. Thirdly, the Rosanna will talk about the Medicare insurance in Australia. If you get illness, you don't need to worry. You can get the free treatment and accommodation. It's very good for people. And another thing is about job seekers. There are a lot of jobs can provide. You can find a good job for you future or another thing. That is also, we think that government social benefits are necessary. That's our presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Well done. The only thing with that group so far, you did a great job, really good job. The only thing was, I think a little bit it went off topic. Just went off the topic a little bit. So, should government welfare be necessary? Is it necessary?
Necessary.
Yeah, necessary.